Hey, yo, boys, we're back with another solo leveling rise video, and today we're going to be looking at some leaks credited to Alpha Leaker for sharing this with the community, and it's going to be the characters of Chae and Alicia Blanche. I may have butchered it, but it is what it is. Anyways, we're going to be looking at their kit, skills, etc. We're not going to really go into depth on their percentages and stats because, as said here, they might be placeholders and they're subject to change, around the release. So we're not going to go too invested into it, but we're just going to see what it's about. Okay, so she is a light warrior as expected. Okay, so here we have the Sword of Light increases the user's basic skill damage by 5%. When the user uses a basic skill, increases crit hit damage by 2% for 12 seconds, stacking up to 6 times. So I'm already assuming that she'll probably have some either skill resets or her skill can be used multiple times, because then there'd be like almost no way to get the crit damage percentage like as high as possible within, those 12 seconds. But you can also probably use Viridescent accessories on her as well to lower the basic skill cooldown and also increase its damage. So we'll see. Luckily, I already have some pieces since, I've been using them on my Huang. Okay, and then of course it will be basic skill damage by 20% and basic skill increases crit hit damage by 8% for 12 seconds, stacking up to 6 times at max, of course. And then obviously the attack defense HP percentage, that's probably going to be 10% as usual, standard for all the characters. And then the stats will be attack and precision. Next up, she has her Swift Sword. Heian attacks the enemy by swinging her sword quickly. Stage 1, Stage 2, and Stage 3, we're not going to talk about percentages, deals light elemental damage. Okay, so pretty fast string of attacks. Next up, we have her Sword Dance. Okay, that's going to be her core attack. Not bad. It's actually pretty good. Deals 1,629% of the user's attack light elemental damage, and when the last attack in the combo hits, it inflicts airborne effects, so that's pretty good. Not really so much against bosses and enemies that have super armor, but very nice on mobs. Of course, granted, these are at level 10, the percentages don't matter. We're just looking at it, at a base point. Next up, you have the Dancer. She charges in, quickly penetrating the target, so it's probably going to be a dash attack. Yep, exactly what it is, so you can close gaps, etc. Really good. Deals light elemental damage, and then when the user lands a critical hit, it applies the Waltz of the Sword effect, and when this skill is used, it applies the Dancer effect. So basically, Waltz of the Sword, the Dancer can be used an infinite number of times while the effect is activated, while the effect is active. How long is the Waltz effect, though? That's actually insane. Because then you're just basically spamming it. So then maybe you don't even need skill resets. You're basically just spamming the skill. So building her with a lot of attack, you probably don't even need crit hit rate if you do happen to go for one dupe, since her first dupe gives her, I believe her second dupe, her second dupe gives her more crit hit rate. You can go for more crit hit damage and then probably try to get some MP consumption reduction if you do happen to use the Viridescent set, because then you could be spamming her skills in like an insane amount of times, and you're probably going to be using a lot of MP. Overall, it's only 66 MP, which isn't bad. It's actually pretty nice, very, very low end. Cooldown's 12 seconds. You land a crit hit, so as long as you have enough crit, so you're probably going to be trying to go for as much crit as possible. And then the crit damage, of course, and then you could go Viridescent set. So maybe you'll probably use the crit set on her along with Viridescent as your accessories, in my opinion. Next up, you have the Sword of Light. Heian splashes the enemy continuously with a large Sword of Light, then finishes the combination with a powerful strike. Deals light elemental damage. The cooldown is 12 seconds. MP consumption is 264. This is at level 10. Knocks the target when the last attack in the combo hits. Damage to branded targets increases by 15%. I'm assuming branded is a form of marked, so they will be marked and you'll do more damage to these marked enemies. And then also applies the unrecoverable effect to the target when the last attack in the combo hits. So basically, they will not be able to heal, I'm assuming. So that's actually real nice. That's actually a really good basic skill. They're both quick. Both of their basic skills are quick. So effectively using the Viridescent set is definitely going to be, in my opinion, best played here. And their cooldowns are not too long. And of course, our first skill is basically spammable. So, I mean, of course, granted, if you do not have Viridescent, then you can just use Behemoth or something like that. Heian attacks the enemy by unleashing a powerful downward slash with her Sword of Light. And then it's on 25-second cooldown, deals light elemental damage. When this skill hits, it knocks down the target. And when this skill hits, it applies unrecoverable and brand effects to the enemy. So unable to recover HP, duration 30 seconds. That's insane. I wish they'd kind of show the brand effect. Okay, there it is. So brand increases your crit hit rate and crit hit damage to the target that has this effect. Okay, so basically you don't even really need that much crit hit rate, right? Like effectively she will apply brand on most of her stuff, and then you're basically going to be critting a lot more likely, and you're going to have way more crit hit damage. So actually, pretty insane sub unit, especially if an enemy does heal, right? Super good, super good. So far I'm actually impressed with her kit. Even if you don't use her as a main DPS, she has her unique kit basically as a support. This is her QTE. Heian approaches the enemy quickly and launches them into the air. Afterwards, she attacks the enemy with a large slash with her Sword of Light. The animation is absolutely insane on that skill. Usage condition, extreme evasion, core attack, or ultimate skill. Deals light elemental damage. When this skill hits, it inflicts the airborne effect. When this skill hits, it applies the brand effect. So again, applying another brand effect. So even when you are not using her as a support, you're applying the brand effect even on your QTEs when you're coming in, switching in with her. So that's overall pretty good. The duration is 15 seconds. Not bad at all. And then the cooldown of the QTE is 20 seconds. So you'll have like an 8-second downtime, but overall it's still effectively very good. Now you have her ultimate, the Light of the End. Heian takes a mighty swing at the enemy with the sword imbued with the power of light. 45-second cooldown, and then power gauge consumption, of course, 100%, deals light elemental damage, and when this skill hits, it inflicts the airborne effect. When attacking a branded target, the damage is increased by 30%. So naturally, you would want to switch in with her QTE, apply the branded effect, then use her ultimate skill. Then you just spam basically her basic skills, because then you'll have branded effects still. And then basically, if you have waltz, the waltz passive or effect applied to you, then you'll be able to just continuously spam your basic skill, and then as soon as you're done spamming your basic skill, you can swap out, and then by then your cooldown will be up the next time you get her onto her rotation. You only get one chance. All right, pretty cool. I like her other skill more. When the dancer hits, the user has a 66% chance to brand the target. Okay, so she's constantly applying it even without her QTE. Okay, it's overall good, because I mean, like, you just go in, QTE, ult, then do dancer, and then do your like, just keep spamming it basically. Super good. Holy, actually insane. So she just spams. Increases the max number of dancer effect instances. Effect instances that can stack at once to 5 instances. Okay, so you can stack the dancer 5 times. So what was the dancer, I believe? Okay, so you can stack it 5 times. All right, that's nice. Where are we at? So first dupe increases the max number. This, yeah, we already talked about that. Increases the user's crit hit rate. So this is what I was talking about. With this and the branded effect, you're going to be able to reach your ceiling for crit easily. And then you have your 3 dupes on attacking a branded target, increases the skill damage of the dancer and the sword of light. So basically very similar to kind of like Huang, where he also increases his basic skill damage. So she's going to be quite insane as well. Like the branded effect in itself is already insane. So then applying this as well, increasing damage when they're branded, which is easily achievable with her kit. Then your 4 dupe increases her crit hit damage, increasing the damage overall even more, which is good. And then you have her 5 dupe, which depending on the stack effects of the dancer, increases the damage of light of the end. So that's her ult by 15%, stacking up to 5 times. So really good. You're basically doing an insane amount of damage. You're basically going to get your stacks with your dancer, and then you're also going to be applying branded, and basically your stacks are going to be easy to get because, I mean, she could use it like multiple times because of Walt, and then yeah, you're easily stacking that, no problem. So if you do happen to go for 5 dupes, which I mean, I know some people are because you know this is waifu to them, so I probably won't. I'll probably get 1 copy of her, but we'll see. I don't know. I say that often, and then usually I end up changing my mind. So yeah, overall, pretty good character, just judging on paper. Even on like, even her attacks look pretty nice. I want to see her interaction with the enemies and the mobs, and see how she feels. But I mean, overall, just judging by the the basis of it, it looks overall pretty good, and her kid is actually nuts applying branded. Hopefully, no bosses or enemies actually resist it, which I highly doubt because we have effects like damage taken that are able to apply on enemies and all that, so shouldn't be any issues. All right, next up we have Alicia. We don't know when she's gonna come, but this again, just as Chae, is gonna be like we're not gonna really look too much at the percentages, but more so the kit itself. Okay, so she is a water mage. I believe this is an OC original character, so I could be mistaken, but I believe she's original character. I've never seen her before. So increases the user's core attack damage by 5%. And then when the ice body armor effect activates, increases the user and team members' water damage by 2.5% for 20 seconds. So she is basically essentially a buffer for a water team. So basically mono water, right? But of course, even if like you're not running mono water, she does increase the damage for herself as well, right? So it's pretty good. It only lasts for 20 seconds and the cooldown is 30 seconds, so you do have a 10-second downtime. And then, yeah, core attack, whatever. We'll just continue. She's going to be scaling off of attack most likely because, as you can see, it's attack on her weapon. And then it's 10% for 20 seconds at max dupes, or 5 dupes, excuse me. And then 20% core attack damage, which is overall pretty good. And then you have your stats. First one, you have the Touch of Winter. Alicia attacks the enemy by continuously summoning ice crystals. Let's see if they go to preview.
Penetrate.
Okay, so overall, a fast string of attacks, but very long. A very long attack, basically. Like you'll be doing like 4 or 5 hits. What was that? 4 or 5 hits, something like that. They move fast, but like overall, the whole entire animation and everything is slow. Next, you have your core attack. So basically, it's kind of very similar to Choi's, where he kind of explodes the area, but she does it with, frost. Then you have Winter Storm. Alicia attacked the enemy by summoning an icy whirlwind.
Storm.
Okay. So she's very similar to I forget her name. It's the Wind chick, the Wind SR. Very similar to her, where she also makes a storm, but like of wind. But except she has like a dash to it as well, which is actually really nice. And then when the skill hits, it has a 30% chance to freeze the target. In my opinion, that's a very low odds, but I mean, I'll take it, especially if you're hitting like multiple enemies. It's not bad because that looks very good for like a bunch of AoE. And then when the user uses the skill, it applies the ice body armor effect to their team members. So I'm gonna assume this is probably like some sort of shield that, or some sort of like effect that when they hit you, they freeze. I'll see in a sec. Surely they'll show it. Next up, you have her second skill, Ice Needle. Alicia attacks the enemy by creating a large icy terrain that detonates. Okay, so very quick, very quick, and it looks like it has a lot of area it covers. So definitely very good for mobs. Deals water elemental damage when this skill hit and inflicts the airborne effect. So definitely going to be killer for mobs. Now you have Icy Detonation. Alicia attacks the enemy by creating a large icy terrain that detonates. And then when this skill hits, it inflicts airborne effect, excuse me. When the first attack in the combo hits, it freezes the target. So she'll freeze them. And then at the end of it, wait, I'm so confused. Wait. So when the skill hit, it inflicts airborne effect. And then when the first attack in the combo hits, it freezes the target. So basically, are you applying both of them? Okay. When this skill is used, it applies the ice body armor effect to Sung Jing Woo. This is the support skill. Let me see. And this skill interrupts the target. Okay, they're frozen. Okay. Very interesting. But hey, it's a free freeze. Oh, was there any percentages on it? No, it was no percentage. It literally just freezes. And then applies ice body armor, which they have yet to show.
Don't move.
Next, you have Eternal Frost, which is your QTE. Attacks the enemy by creating an icy field that detonates. So she comes in, she freezes them, be for 3 seconds, deals water damage, flips airborne effect, freezes them, last combo in the hit. You have her ultimate, Absolute Zero. Shaking off her sad memories, Alicia unleashes a chill strong enough to freeze her surroundings and attack enemies while they are frozen. Holy. Okay, deals water elemental damage. The cooldown is 45 seconds. When the last attack in the combo hits, it flicks airborne. When the last attack in the combo hits, it freezes the target. This skill applies 5 instances of the frost effect to the user.
It's time to freeze.
Okay, so she works with frost. Need more information on that. When Eternal Frost, Winter Storm, or Ice Needle are used, they apply the frost effect to the user. Activates core attack change. The user's core attack changes to Bitter Cold Spear. Okay, so basically her whole core attack changes. Holy. So you use your skill and then attack into your core attack, then use your other skill and then go to your core attack, and then use your other skill and then go all the way to your core attack. So maybe she'll be pretty good on Dragon Knight set, because the Dragon Knight set does increase your, I believe it's basic skill damage. I could be wrong. It's basic attack damage. It increases your basic attack damage and your core attack damage, right? And it also increases the core attack dodge as well. So maybe it'll be a lot quicker to be spamming her core attack with that set. I mean, maybe you could also go for power dodge set as well, because she seems very supportive with her freezing skills and the instances, but we'll see. When the user uses Bitter Cold Spear, it consumes frost instances up to 3 instances at once. Bitter Cold Spear damage increases by 80% per frost instance that has been consumed, increasing up to 240%. That's actually crazy. The duration is infinite, so basically it lasts for like forever. Very similar to Huang. Huang also gains like madness and stuff like that, which are also for Impulse. He gets Impulse, which is also infinite as well, and stacks it 5 times before unleashing it at his 5th stack. So basically, you can stack 5 times and then use Cold Spear, and then boom, you're gonna do massive damage. Holy! So core attack, Jesus. When shield is active, increases the user's crit hit rate and crit hit damage by 16%. So basically, judging earlier when it said, where was it at? Judging earlier with the ice body armor, I'm assuming this is some sort of shield, like I was saying earlier. So that's probably what it is applying here, right? So basically she could get her shield, and then she'll be able to increase her crit hit rate and crit hit damage. Of course, if she doesn't have it, because it wasn't really shown, even if she doesn't have it, you'll be using her on a water mono team, which then you can of course use her with Sayo, and Sayo will provide shield. So actually insane first dupe, I'm not gonna lie. Like 16% crit hit rate is insane. Like that literally like negates the need to like get so much crit hit rate in your subs. Granted, I don't know what the interaction is like when you hit 50% like on capped crit rate. I don't know if like these effects are still applied even after the 50%. So like, would you still get 66%? I'm not entirely sure. I need to do a little bit more testing on this or ask around and see what's going on. But anyways, that's the first dupe. Your second dupe is when Eternal Frost, Winter Storm, or Ice Kneel are applied. I mean, use applies one additional frost, so basically you'll be gaining your frost effects even quicker, and then your Bitter Cold Spears will be proccing quicker. You'll be doing everything a lot faster. W second dupe. But she still seems functional even without the dupe so far. Basically, as a support or a DPS. I'll have to see her in combat, of course, but she seems to attack quickly, freezes enemies to CC them, does damage. She's ranged. It's not bad at all. She'll be definitely OP versus Cerberus, tier 8 Cerberus. She increases damage dealt to frozen targets, so that's like a lot of her skills freeze. So that's really good. And if you're using her on the water mono, there's going to be, you could use Nam, I believe her name is Nam, the green hooded girl. She also freezes, so boom, even more freezing, even more damage dealt to frozen targets. Kind of insane. Her QTE also freezes, so yeah, you'll come in and you'll already be doing 30% increased damage. All team member water damage increases by 5%. So yeah, as I said before, W on mono, water mono.
It's time to.
Fifth dupe applies the ice body armor effect to the entire team every 40 seconds. So every 40 seconds, you'll be just passively applying this without her skill. That's, I mean, I don't really know what it does because I don't think he's shown it. And if he did show it, I must have missed it. The ice body armor effect that was affected through this effect additionally increases by water damage by 10%. Okay, so when you have it, you'll get 10% water damage as well. And then this effect will be applied, will remain active even when the user tags out. So if you tag out, it will still be active. That's actually insane. So W support character, W main DPS character, whichever you'd like to do, she works functional for both. You don't even need to use her on the water mono team if you don't want to, because she will be boosting herself as well. Although, if you do use her on the water mono team, she's going to be absolutely insane. I believe she'd be a staple on those teams since she is increasing the damage of your water numbers, right? And then, of course, you have your percentages for extra dupes, right? So overall, definitely an amazing character. Like, Freeze is insane in this game. Like, what she does for the team supportively and what she does for the team as a main DPS or even a sub DPS, I'd say it's outstanding for me. In my opinion, I prefer her over Chae, but I mean, the branded effect is nice. And I mean, of course, she's going to be a full main DPS, right? Absolutely busted. I think both of these characters are amazing. Now, broken, I don't know if they're broken yet. I'll know as soon as I start playing with them. And you can be sure I will be making a video on their gameplay, right? So, yeah, again, thanks to Alpha Leaker for providing this to the community so that way we're able to see these units ahead of time, how their kits are. Now, of course, I don't think there's going to be any changes to their kit overall, like how attacks are, how their animations, or anything like that of the sort. But it's very possible that they might change the percentages and how long cooldowns are and stuff like that. I think that we're already getting very close to, Chae coming out soon, so I don't see them actually making any big changes to them aside from timings, like how long their effects activate or how much it procs. I don't see them changing any animations, movements, or any of the skills like that. But yeah, again, appreciate it, Alpha Leaker, and yeah, I'll leave a link to his Twitter down below, or hers, excuse me, or theirs. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.